picking up where we left off. UJ. So UJ have been making some moves, right? As we anticipated was a high low. Form continued a bullish structure into that downtrend structure on the daily. So we will stick on H4 for now, being that we're bullish, right? So as you see, price came up, made a high low point that was previously tested from this high low point to now make a new high, right? So now we see H4 is now giving that pullback. So if we zoom into the 30-minute time frame, we see we have been making lower lows and lower highs. Lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high. And now we're at a lower low. Or we're at the same low. All right, if we want to mark off, this support level right here that has not been broken, right? It's not a change of character. Let me just take that off. Right, it's just a support zone, random line. Right, so we slept on our random line, and we see here we still have a same test of this low, and price is looking like it's failing to break this low. Right, so what we can anticipate is price wants to push higher, right? So the buyers are looking like they're coming into the market. So we want to see price change the structure, right? We want to see a change of structure here, right? This way we could mark as a change of character, being that it will break structure to then continue back bullish, right? So we want to look for the entry base point, which will be a high low point to continue bullish, right? So this is what I'm anticipating right now for UJ, right? We're looking for a break of this high point, of this lower high, to then change the structure, breaking the MAs also, and the target will be this same high. I guess we can target this high, right? But the overall target, don't ever forget that the overall target will be this zone right here that is on the daily, right? Because we're still looking for a sweep of this liquidity high right here, right? Ew, that was so disgusting. We're still looking for a sweep of that high, of what caused the breaker structure. That little consolidation zone will cause the breaker structure, and that's what we're looking for to continue the bearish trend, right? So we are still looking for this. This is the overall play, but being that we're intraday, we're gonna still take a look at the smaller time frames, and we're looking for the structure to continue bullish, right? Even if I want, I can still make this like a little structure zone right here, where price, where a resistance can now look like it's forming a support. So resistance now turns support, and that's confluence also. Even if you want to slap on a fib, point A to point B, we're around that 50%, 61.8%. It looked like it's closing on that 50% fib level. So yeah, oh wow, and it matches up with negative 27%. And I didn't even slap on the fib. It was just, I don't know, I guess it was just destined. But yeah, that's my outlook on UJ. Moving on to gold. So we see gold have kind of been moving, not too much. Let's see. Okay, so I had a fib from point A to point B. Right, bullish wick to bullish wick. It came down to 38.2%, closed on 38.2%, but it kind of touched 50%, sorry. And we are, okay, it looked like it came back into this consolidation zone that we had drew last week. Right, that was the top of the zone. This is the bottom of the zone. All right, so now price then came down and made a new support on the M30, on the H4 time frame. Sorry about that. Let's see. So being that we have a zone here, right, we want to see, we're going to monitor price to see if it's going to sweep these highs that it created. More than anything, this high right here, due to the fact that this high was the last lower high point that it created before it broke structure, before it broke this support. Yeah, before it broke the support that I had right here. I want to remove that. This before, so this is the last lower high point that it created before it broke this support to now create another support. So we want to see price shoot up, sweep these high points, maybe even sweep this high, to then continue bearish, being that gold is on a bearish trend, a minor bearish trend on the daily, to continue the bullish trend on H4 and continued bullish trend on the daily, right? So going back to H4, we can even go down to M30. So yeah, we've been having good bullish structure, and it looks like price is starting to slow down because you see big impulse right here, kind of consolidated, somewhat of a high low point, and now it's slowing down, right? We're paying attention to little wicks, like to, you know, zones like this little wick that's actually pulling it back. I mean, that's giving exhaustion right here. So it's looking like the buyers are starting to lose momentum, right? So we still want to see, like tomorrow during, or even tonight during London session, to price to continue to push up, sweep these high points. Even the second one, like I mentioned before, to continue bearish. Then we're going to look for a bearish, we're going to look for like a bearish change of character, or, you know, change, shift of structure, right? So we're looking for something like this, right? To create a lower high point. After we create the lower high point, that will be indication for sells to continue back down, right? So this is my outlook for gold at the moment. We could target these same lows, and that could be a 1 to 6, but, you know, of course we can target right here. TP1 is always on 1 to 3. So we can look for something like that, but we kind of don't want to be in the zone, as long as, because this is a big consolidation zone, right? Where price really just consolidated at the 3,050, 3350 to 3275, we can say, right? So we are looking for bearish structure on gold. Okay, so let's look at AU. AU is kind of a slow slope here. We had some support and resistance zones marked off. So on the daily, looking from the weekly, we're in a bearish structure, right? After we previously broke this support level right here. This was a support that was broken. Let's make this purple. This is my weekly color. All right, so that was broken. This support right here was broken. So we automatically know that we're in a bearish structure, right? Let's go to the daily so we can anticipate what happened, right? So we can clearly see here we had a consolidation zone right here around the support level that we broke on the weekly. So we have some high points that look like it needs to be swept. This is a previous high point right here that can be marked off for liquidity. So liquidity is laying above that high point before it broke the structure. So it consolidated, then broke structure. So price can be looking to sweep those highs, sweep that high in that consolidation zone. We also have another price move sideways right here. So this is another zone where we can be anticipating price to want to push up, right? So we can mark off this liquidity right here. That's liquidity that we can mark off. So we can look for buys at the moment, right? Where, being that it's a big structure point where it's a daily, right? We can be looking on H4 and we clearly see bullish structure, right? Price is moving up. So if you want, we can look at, this is something that we can look at. where price had a support right here. I mean, a resistance, right, on H4, and price is sitting at a higher high. So we can anticipate a high high. After a high high comes a higher low point, right? Higher low points are usually entry base points. So we can anticipate price coming back towards this area right here to then push up the market, to push the market back up. All right. So if you want to, we can mark off, we can clearly make a zone right here. And this is our structure zone where a resistance can be used as support to continue to push price higher, right? So if we look on the M30 time frame, we starting to see a shift, right? We can just make this a blue random line. We starting to see a shift where price made a higher low point. It kind of made a high high, but it was still close. So that is showing that the buyers are losing momentum, right? And we're sitting at this support level right here on the M30 time frame where we're seeing a lot of exhaustion to the up to the top side, right? Where we're at a, well, it's Sydney session, which AU is, but the majority of the volume is always going to be in the US session, right? And we're sitting here, so we can be looking for anticipation of a break. We can be anticipating a break of the support level to push price down to kind of form that high low point on the daily on H4 and potentially sweep this low point right here, right? Sweep this liquidity here. So we have liquidity here. That is the high low point before. Ooh, let's see. Yeah, this is the last, I guess, high low point before price moved up. Let's check the H1 for a second. Yeah. So we can see that price consolidated here. All right. You can see price consolidated here before it pushed up and broke this high point. All right. We can see that, but not to complicate it too much. We just know that on the H4, we're at a higher high, right? And price is bullish. So we are anticipating a pullback to then create a higher low point on the H4, which is our entry base point, to look for buys and push price up to that high point, which we can look on the daily to anticipate price coming to sweep these highs. So that wraps up the stream, right? Right now we're just gonna play the waiting game. Let's see what the market gives us. We have our anticipation of what price may and may not do. And we just trade what price is gonna give us. And you know, don't predict, react, So that wraps up the stream, and that is it. Catch you guys on another one.